Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting to our latest stories from the week. Pakistan's Air Force launched retaliatory airstrikes early Thursday morning in Iran, killing at least 9 people. Further raising tensions in the area, Thursday's attack followed one made by Iran within Pakistani borders. The two countries share a volatile border stretching about 560 miles, with Pakistan's Balochistan province on one side and Iran's Sistan and Balochistan province on the other. The attacks seem to target militants in the region along the Baloch border. While the two countries share a common separatist enemy, it is highly unusual for either side to attack militants on each other's soil. The latest strikes come as Iran's allies and proxies in the Middle East, the so-called Axis of Resistance, launch attacks on Israeli forces and its allies against the backdrop of the war in Gaza. An Ecuadorian prosecutor who was reportedly leading the investigation into the attack on a local TV network was assassinated on Wednesday. Cesar Suarez was killed in Guayaquil, the city known for being one of the most violent in the country. He was a prosecutor for the province and focused on organized transnational crime. Ecuador's Attorney General Diana Salazar said in a statement, quote, "The organized criminal groups, criminals, terrorists will not stop our commitment to the Ecuadorian society. We will continue with more strength and commitment. We have to be clear, this atrocious event brings with it a message towards the work we are carrying out through justice in Ecuador," end quote. Since the alleged escape of the notorious gang leader Adolfo Fito Macias, the country has been under a state of emergency due to elevated crimes and violence. The Biden administration will start canceling student loans for some borrowers starting in February as part of a new repayment plan. Loan forgiveness was originally set to begin in July under the new Save repayment plan, but it's being accelerated to provide faster relief to borrowers. Borrowers will be eligible for cancellation if they are enrolled in the new SAVE plan, if they originally borrowed $12,000 or less to attend college, or if they have made at least 10 years of payments. Starting next month, the Education Department says it will automatically wipe away balances for eligible borrowers enrolled in the SAVE plan. The department will email borrowers who might be eligible but may not have enrolled. According to a new government report, inflation was much higher in December, with higher rents and food prices leading the boost. The Consumer Price Index grew at an annual rate of 3.4% last month, according to the latest report from the Labor Department. Excluding volatile food and energy costs, core prices rose just 0.3% month over month, unchanged from November's increase. Economists pay particular attention to core prices because by excluding costs that typically jump around from month to month, they are seen as a better guide to the likely path of inflation. Polls show many Americans are dissatisfied with the economy due to the persistence of still elevated inflation. The Federal Reserve wants to reduce year-over-year inflation to its 2% target level, but the promise of rate cuts could be delayed. Quaker Oats is expanding a prior recall to include additional cereals, granola bars, and snacks sold across the country because of a possible salmonella contamination. According to the company, the recall includes Quaker Chewy granola bars, Cap'n Crunch bars, and select Captain Crunch cereals and oatmeal. Quaker Chewy granola breakfast cereals, Quaker oatmeal squares, Gatorade peanut butter chocolate protein bars, Munchies Munch Mix, and snack boxes that include these products. Consumers with any of the recalled products can contact Quaker Consumer Relations at 1-800-492-9322 or visit QuakerRecallUSA.com for additional information or product reimbursement. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
It's that time of the year again, flu season. Getting vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 can help keep you, your family, and your community healthy. You can even get both vaccines at the same time. Visit mass.gov/flushot to learn.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, January 16th, the town of Braintree held a Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service at the town hall. State officials, Braintree's new mayor, members of town government, and volunteers were in attendance to assemble bag lunches to be delivered to Father Bill's in Mainspring, a shelter for those facing homelessness. In honor of the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., District 5 Town Councilor Meredith Berica coordinated the event that brought 230 bag lunches to the emergency shelter in the Brockton location. MLK Day is designated as a national day of service to encourage all Americans to volunteer to improve their communities. During the last quarter century, the MLK Day of Service has grown and its impact increased as more Americans embrace the idea that citizenship involves taking an active role in improving communities. The second ever Lunar New Year Festival was announced at this week's Town Council meeting. The second annual event is being held on Sunday, February 4th to celebrate the Year of the Dragon. The Chinese American Association of Braintree is collaborating with the BHS Asian Student Association to host this year's event at the Braintree High School Gymnasium. Residents are invited to attend and enjoy a variety of cultural activities, games, the marketplace, and performances including the traditional lion dances. Admission is free, and here's more about the Lunar New Year Festival from CAAB organizers.
With the Chinese American Association of Braintree and Braintree High School Asian Student Association together presenting you this year's Lunar New Year Festival celebration in Braintree High School. If you're looking at the flyer that I have passed it, you see last year was overwhelming, excited from the residents, and because we have outgrown the town hall facility. So thank you for the town planning facility, and the mayor's office agreed to help us secure the high school's gym as one of the facilities we're going to have this year, and it's going to present it with cooperation with the Braintree High School. We felt that the event is really letting our youth to learn their heritage and let them have an opportunity to step up and learn about leadership, communication, and marketing perspective.
In observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the town of Braintree came together to commemorate his legacy by honoring one of its own. Miss Heidi Hurley, a veteran and longtime art educator, is being recognized for her tremendous contribution to Braintree as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Citizen of the Year Award. The MLK Citizen of the Year Award is awarded by the Braintree Mayor to an individual every year who has contributed to the town in ways that builds a more inclusive, compassionate, and positive community. The holiday season is officially behind us, meaning plenty of Braintree residents have already taken down the Christmas tree, and more will be looking to do so in the coming days. Town officials say that in Braintree, residents looking to discard their trees can take it to the Plain Street compost site, which accepts them during operating hours. Trees aren't accepted with lights, ornaments, or plastic bags on them, so take just the bare tree to the compost site. The 225 Plain Street compost site is open Wednesday through Sunday from 7:15 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. through the end of January. The Braintree Parks and Recreation Department are now selling tickets for a field trip to see the Boston Celtics play the Detroit Pistons at TD Garden. The event on March 18th is available to residents of all ages, and seats will be located in the top shelf bar seating area. The trip will include round-trip transportation to and from the Garden, and buses will depart from Town Hall at 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $90, and you can buy them now on the Parks and Rec website at braintreema.myrec.com. The Braintree Public Schools have released applications for kindergarten registration for all Braintree families who have a child eligible to attend kindergarten in September 2024. To qualify, students must be 5 years old by August 31st and must reside in the town of Braintree. The registration portal opened on Wednesday, January 3rd and will run through Friday, January 19th. Any family registering after the 19th will be placed on a wait list as they evaluate the number of families requesting half-day and full-day programming. Notification of placement will be made via email to all families by February 29th. Registration for all eligible Braintree kindergarten students can be done online at braintreeschools.org/register. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Left unattended. Place them on a stable base 3 feet from combustibles. Their use is not recommended within a bedroom, but if you must do so, place a smoke detector on the ceiling within the bedroom. Plug a portable space heater directly into the outlet, avoiding extension cords. Thus, do not use lamp cords or power strips for this purpose. Are portable, unvented propane and oil-filled heating appliances safe to use within a residence? No. Massachusetts prohibits their use. These heaters produce asphyxiant gases. These gases can render an occupant incapacitated or dead. Please consider your safety during these upcoming colder months. Thank you for doing so.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. After a 2.5-hour meeting last week, Weymouth School Superintendent Robert Wargo said he will release an action plan to improve school security. The meeting at Chapman Middle School last week gave parents the opportunity to voice their concerns about school security following an attack on a student last month that was recorded and posted on social media. About 100 people packed into the media center of the school to attend the forum. During the meeting, Wargo said school officials will start a pilot program for monitors, and they will also look into installing doors on bathrooms so some can be closed off. Community forums were also held at the elementary and high schools. An update to a story we brought to you last week: a raccoon that was reportedly set on fire in an intentional act of cruelty has died. The New England Wildlife Center said in a Facebook post, quote, "Despite our efforts and around-the-clock care, we lost our patient today." End quote. The center received the animal on December 30th and administered life-saving care for 2 weeks. The raccoon underwent 3 surgeries, but ultimately the severity of the burns proved overwhelming. The veterinary team attempted CPR and administered emergency medications to no avail. The post went on to say, quote, "We are all very sad today, but don't regret giving her a chance. We know she was fighting until the very end." End quote. Officials said about 100 hours of active care, 3 surgeries, and medication costs amounted to approximately $5,000. The commercial veterinarian care would have cost roughly 3 times that amount. Last week, the Massachusetts State Police Air Wing responded to assist Quincy police searching for 2 narcotic suspects who fled from a motor vehicle crash at the Braintree Split. Officials said the suspects had failed to stop for Quincy officers, and after crashing, they fled into the adjacent woods. A helicopter from the Massachusetts State Police Air Wing was dispatched, and the troopers located the 2 suspects attempting to hide. They were both lying flat on a granite outcrop. Officials said the state police directed ground units to the suspect's location, and both men were taken into custody by Quincy police. An additional 12 allegations of sexual assault have been reported against former pediatrician Richard Koff, who practiced for decades in Norwell and Kingston. A prosecutor says a total of 36 women and girls have now alleged they were sexually assaulted by him. During the last hearing on Friday, Koff requested to make 4 out-of-state trips. Judge James Byrne granted the request over the objection of Assistant District Attorney Kuzman, who asked for more information about Koff's plan. plans, including affidavits of people he'll be visiting or staying with. Koff's defense lawyer said she is providing the court with a very specific itinerary and that Koff is already barred from contact with children under 16 as part of his release conditions. The only child Koff will come into contact with during his trip is his 6-month-old grandchild. Another hearing is scheduled for March 21st. A graduate student from Harvard University has become the first active duty service member to win the title of Miss America. U.S. Air Force Second Lieutenant Madison Marsh won the national competition on January 14th, bringing home a new title. According to her biography, Marsh, who was crowned Miss Colorado in 2023, graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy in 2023 with a degree in physics. Currently, she's a graduate intern with Harvard Medical School, learning to utilize artificial intelligence to detect pancreatic cancer. She's also pursuing her master's in public policy at the Harvard Kennedy School. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Meet James. He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. This week in entertainment, we have 3 new movie recommendations for you to watch. First, Ted is a miniseries set in the early 90s. The show follows Ted the bear, whose moment of fame has passed, so now he's living back home with his best friend John Bennett and his family. While Ted may be a lousy influence on John, he's a loyal pal who will go out on a limb for friendship. The show stars Seth MacFarlane and Max Burkholder. You can watch Ted now on Peacock. Next, Anyone But You follows Bea and Ben, whose initial interaction turns sour despite an amazing first date. However, when they unexpectedly find themselves at a destination wedding in Australia, they pretend to be the perfect couple to keep up appearances. The film stars Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. You can watch Anyone But You now in theaters. Finally, Lift follows a master thief who is wooed by his ex-girlfriend and the FBI to pull off an impossible heist with his international crew on a 777 passenger flight from London to Zurich. The film stars Ursula Corbero and Kevin Hart. You can watch Lift now on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.